Hello everybody and welcome to the Sauropod Squad channel. Here our theme is dinosaurs, like the Dimorphodon behind me. But our passion is variety gaming, like all the variety the mods here in modded Minecraft have brought us. Now folks, you guys would have just seen the time-lapse of the start of the tree farm over in Beyond the Mountains. And we will return there soon because I got a lot to show you guys over there. That's the current workspace that I'm hanging out at. But before we go over there, I wanted to show you guys our Dimorphodon from the inside of the exhibit view. Although it's kind of doing glitchy Minecraft stuff, but she flies around, which is really cool. She hangs out by the water. She go gets food. It's actually really cool just kind of hang out here and watch her. Although she is stuck right now, unfortunately. There she goes, flying. She almost looks like she's like out of the exhibit. That's so cool. And then down for a landing in the reeds. Yeah, it's really cool to watch this Dimorphodon fly around, and I can't wait till we have a total of 10 of these in here. It's gonna be honestly a little packed, but I think 10 can house these. I have a name tag, guys. I want to go ahead and name our Dimorphodon. Oh, look at that! It landed in the Joshua tree. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so actually I can go ahead and open my backpack here. You might notice I dyed all my backpacks different colors, and it's big and important for me, but it might not matter for you guys. But anyway, in here, last episode I showed you guys I had an anvil upgrade in the backpack. So I can actually go ahead and do this on the spot right now. I want to go ahead and you guys gave a lot of good suggestions. I saw caramel I really liked, but I am actually going to go with cocoa, and that is mainly because all of you guys were giving me great names that kind of related to the color of the dinosaur, right? It was like a tannish brown, like a a caramel color, and I really liked that. But then as she grew up, where did she go? Back in the tree. Come down here. I gotta name you. As she grew up, she's actually like white and black. So I think cocoa kind of reminds me of like cocoa powder, but bam. It's just kind of just a name now at this point. So there we go. We've got Coco, and I also have one more dinosaur that we need to name. Let's head on over to the Dilo exhibit. Now, guys, I have been absolutely loving the vibe change here with all these redwood trees. The vibe of the park is it just makes me happy. Honestly, one of a long time running desires of mine in Minecraft in general, and this goes all the way back from the start, back in like 2010, 2012, whenever it first came out. I honestly don't remember. I started playing like 2013, 2014 time, about a year or two after the game had been out. But I loved the giant spruce trees because I'm from California, and the redwood biome in real life is one of my all-time favorite biomes. So, you know, I always kind of wanted to like have a Minecraft world where I lived in a log cabin, kind of like this, in a giant spruce forest, and it never really happened. On the channel, we did try to start a series called Chillcraft, which was Minecraft with a few buddies, but it didn't really take off. It didn't really go anywhere. But in there, it was the only time I ever lived in a log cabin in the forest. But now we're living in a prehistoric forest. It's still in a log cabin, and so the vibe's basically making me really happy. But hello, Dilo. What's going on, my dude? So we need to name this Dilo, who is actually a female, and you guys sent in some good names. And I'm low-key kind of against this name in a small way, but I kind of think it's a cheeky name. Basically, you guys know how Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park had the frills and they were spitting acid and poison, you know, venomous stuff. Well, that's not actually really accurate. That was kind of just a cinematic thing that the film directors decided to do. These guys don't really spit venom, but I do think Venom is a pretty sick name regardless for our Dilo. So I'm going to go ahead and open our backpack once again, grab our name tag, and even though she is not venomous, she is our Venom. So thanks for those name suggestions, everybody. Let's go ahead and name Venom. There she is. Awesome. Okay, with the dinosaurs now named, we need to head back over the mountains, and I want to show you guys a little bit more of what we're doing over there in the tree farm that you saw in the beginning of this episode. Man, I'm always getting here as the train is leaving. What is up with that? We actually do plan to, I'm going to do the work. It's going to suck because I'm going to have to either move this wall or put it just to the left of this, but we are going to double lane the train. This is the main train route through the park. Besides the monorail, we use it a lot. And, or rather, I should say, we run along it a lot. I'm always missing it because there's only one train, and sometimes it's going the wrong way, or you just miss it. So we're gonna double lane the route and get more trains going, and really have that set up so that we can reliably actually use our subway system. But guys, out here over by the old manual tree farm is where we have decided to set up our automatic tree farm using the Create mod. Now, Al has been doing some work on this. It's not his design by any regard. It's a very common Create tree farm setup. But essentially, you hop on here. Ooh, you essentially have these saws here that will, you know, chop down any tree that spawns, and we have deployers that are deploying the spruce saplings that it also picks up immediately when it chops down a tree. Now all of that gets deployed here in this chest, and you can see we already have an absolute ton of spruce logs. It also comes with saplings and some sticks, which is nice. We're going to send them all down these conveyor belts and sort them out, and, you know, get rid of the sticks and sort out the saplings and maybe reroute the saplings back in, although it doesn't seem to need it. But we're doing that with all the colors. Ignore the redwood tree, I just happen to plant it. But we're going to have a redwood section, we're going to have an oak section, we're going to have a birch section, we're going to have a maple section, we're going to have a larch section, a blackwood section. You get the idea, and a willow, and it's going to keep going and going and going. Now, all in all, we've got about 20 or so trees that we want to use. Oh, also, I believe I made a mob farm underneath me, didn't I? Whoops, I need that. I bet there's a bunch of enemies down here. Yup. But yeah, there's about 20 or so trees that we want, but there's a whole bunch of them that I will show you in just a second. Let me just deal with my mistake here. We even got a witch. Mobs are getting fancy. Although now that I have this bow, fighting it's a joke. Now this shelf here that I'm under is just to give us some space. You would have seen I used our mining machine, which can also be used as a creating machine, which is so awesome. I love the versatility of the Create mod. honestly, Al and I have been talking, and like we both agree that the crate mod here is easily the coolest thing that we've got going on. I mean, dinosaurs too, of course. That might be a biased answer, but the crate mod, you know, it's given us the trains, it's given us the automatic miners and machines and contraptions, and now it's given us automatic trees, and we can mix cobblestone to get gravel and sand. The list goes on, right? It is such an incredible mod. I would argue it might be the best mod Minecraft has ever produced. So I absolutely love it. But I'm gonna extend this so that we can have more of the tree farm on this side, and then terraform this down so it still looks like a decent hill. Or I might even, I'm not sure, I might do like a retaining wall so it actually does look like it is like industrial, and a big factory setup. I haven't really decided the theme yet of like what it'll look like in the long run, but I think that's okay, right? This is specifically away from the park. The park is where everything's supposed to look amazing. Like, I'm still gonna make it look good for sure, but it's more of our industrial zone right out here, which is, it's gonna be function over form, where the park is very much form and function. Yeah, I've been doing what I do best and laying out kind of the outlines for stuff, and picking which trees go where, and then setting up a chest here with oak saplings, because I do know Al, I play much later at night than him. He plays much earlier in the morning than me, so in the morning he is going to come through, and I'm sure I'm about to wake up and see all of these sections with machines running, and he's probably already going to have the conveyor belts going, and he'll be sorting it. That's the stuff he loves. I like it too, don't get me wrong, but we out here designing, and I figured I'd just spend my time on the server doing what I can do best and lay it all out for him, kind of macro level, and then yeah, pretty much I needed to get a clip of this because I'm pretty sure when I log back in it'll be done. So with that said, guys, I've got like an hour or two more that I'm going to kind of tidy this up, maybe make a little bit more plots of some trees, and let's see what it looks like when I wake up in the morning after Al does all the work. Alright, guys, not the work I expected to be done has been done, but work has been done. It has been about 2 days of playing, and you can see here I've gone ahead and expanded the tree farm out into all directions, and we've got a bunch of cool stuff. I'll show you some trees that we've got. We've got the skulkwood that you would have seen in like the episode where we went to the Nether, which is awesome. And then alpha is like a funny alpha tree. We don't have that one yet. Alpha as in like alpha Minecraft. Like it looks like the first Minecraft tree. It's just funny. But we've got palm. We're currently missing the cherry tree and the bamboo tree, not like the normal bamboo, which is exciting. We've got mauve, which is a nice like purple, which is pretty cool. And then all the other trees you would expect. Rubberwood, dark oak. What else we got? We got acacia, jungle. This one is pine trees. This one is the eucalyptus, which is really cool. Actually, I'm just realizing I need to finish that. But yeah. We've been doing a lot of work, and all the work we've been doing isn't actually in this area. You can see that we have changed the conveyor belt lines. We need them to be double-sided because the belts here, you couldn't have them like touching or whatever. So that's all set up and fine and dandy. But the work has been done elsewhere. You might have noticed when I was talking just now, a train that came by. We have run the train, and like I said, I was going to extend the route over here to be double-laned, and that is just, just a portion of the work that I've been doing. You can see our old train here is actually pulled off to the side in an area where it's not going to get hit by the other train. We got a bit of a junction here. It's all kind of a mess, just because we're like mid build before everything gets finalized. But you can see here the tunnel's bigger. We decided to have one of the train tracks here like it was, and then I am going to keep the like footpath down the middle, and then that means I basically have to replicate everything you see here, including like the cool wall design, over on this side. So we dug it out, but I've yet to come in here and, you know, bash out all the annoying resources and make it smooth stone again, just to make everything look nice and dandy. Alright, but all of our work has actually been done over on Al's side of the park, and I don't think my render distance is going to quite see what we've been working on. Yeah, not quite. So let's go ahead and drop down into our subway system and head on over to Al's real quick. And actually, here it is in all of its glory. Here is the new freight train that we set up. I spent a good while building this. It took some inspiration and like low-key copied, not block for block, but got some inspiration by Googling freight train Minecraft on the internet. And you can see it's got 3 storage containers out the back. That's going to be picking up all the trees from our tree farm and bringing them back to our actual log storage facility, which we have decided to put over on Al's side of the park. Because remember, I was telling you guys, Al's side of the park is going to kind of end up being the like facilities section of the park with all of the farms, really. But all of them are going to look like big buildings, warehouses, and all that kind of stuff. All right, so if we head out of Al's house here, you can see our iron farm, the workshop that he built, and then just up over this hill, you will see a mess. But it is the start of a mess. It is a beautiful mess because like I said, we're mid-build right now. This is taking quite a while, and I realize it's actually I might not even finish this in this episode. We shall see. That's my goal. It's my hope. But it's going to take quite a while. So we'll probably see the freight train roll in here as I talk, but the idea is the freight train rolls in here. It probably hits a bunch of turtles that are always in the way on the server, but yeah, and then it actually docks down here, and so it pulls the items out below the train, which then spits it out on the conveyor belt, puts it into kind of a holding pen, and then spits that out along here. Al worked to do all this, of course, because it's Al and he loves his engineering side of this mod. And essentially, what this is doing is this is sorting out on this side. It's going to sort out all of our leaves, because we're actually going to set up the tree farm to gather the leaves. So we're going to be getting the leaves of all the trees, because there's cool colors, and I can use them for bushes and stuff. Leaves and saplings on this side. And then on this side is just 2 full chests of just straight logs. We got to figure out how to filter out the sticks. We might just dump them into a chest or dump them into lava or something like that, just to kind of remove them. But the idea here is, I'll go into spectator mode for this. The idea here is we're going to have one big building that kind of encompasses all of the stuff. Up on the second floor here is where it sorts everything. So it's just going to be these conveyor lines. We'll make it look nice and neat. Might even be able to make like a balcony that looks down or something. Not really sure. We haven't designed it out quite yet. And then there's going to be a smaller little building that kind of covers over where the train enters. And now, guys, if I actually go underground here and show you guys some flying mode, cheaty mode, you can see we've got the train kind of coming in here. It needs to go all the way around because we still need to like fix up all of the routes, right? Everything is makeshift, right? It's like going through blocks. It's a mess out here. But the train will eventually loop back around here, comes through here, and that's the way it comes down. It goes all around here, up a tunnel, which is actually over the other tunnel. It was kind of a journey to figure out how to connect everything like this. But here it comes. You can see it comes out of the tunnel, goes up a little hill, and I've got an oil smokestack on it, so it actually leaves like a smoke trail, which is really, really cool. Big fan of that. Yeah, and then it docks right here, and I don't know if these are activating yet. Yeah, there they are. You can see underneath it, the couplings couple and would drop off any of the resources. But obviously the tree farm on the side where it's picking stuff up isn't really running yet. It's almost there, but we we are in the middle of building this massive machine, which is pretty excited. I know Al is actually going to be out of town for a few days, so a lot of the mechanism stuff is already done, so I might start to build a building around it. Not really sure, but there is one thing I want to do with you guys before we cut into whatever I do with the second half of this episode, and that is to show you guys that we got just a little bit more fossils. So, like usual, to the lab! Alright, folks, the lab is getting a little cramped. I might have to double chest this or get some other chests and start sorting this stuff out. But we've got 15 biofossils to roll the dice on today, as well as 2 shales that I picked up. We also have another Therizino claw. We've got a Pachycephalosaurus arm bone, which would be awesome. And I'm actually really, really hoping for this guy. The Compy would be really, really cool to grab. And check it out. We found the broken ancient sword. So actually, the first thing I'm going to do while we're kind of researching some of these things, I'm going to throw that in here, and we're going to throw our relic scraps because I would love to use the sword. I don't know like how strong it actually is and if I can enchant it, but if we could use an ancient sword as our main weapon, that's just kind of cool, you know what I mean? Alright, well, you guys know the drill. I'm going to drop these guys in, and let's see what DNA we get with the power of editing. Alright, guys. We netted ourselves 3 DNA out of all those fossils, and we did indeed get the little compy. How exciting is that? So we've got the compy. We did get the Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus. Always a fun and interesting word to say. The Para is actually over in the large Cretaceous period pen, so that he's going to be hanging out with the Theri and whatever else. I think we got the Pachyrhinosaurus. And then we also got the Deinonychus. Now, what is awesome about the Deinonychus, guys, is Deinonychus is over in the Jurassic era, I believe. Let me double check my sheet. I'm wrong. I was excited about the compy for the right reason. The compy is in the Jurassic era. The Deinonychus is over by the Velociraptor, also in Cretaceous. So these two are going to be put away over here with the rest of our Cretaceous era guys, and very soon, guys, we might actually have a compy exhibit that we'll work on, probably next episode, as this episode is very much dedicated to that tree farm. But you gotta do some science every now and then, you know what I mean? In every episode, it's the fossil series, we gotta do some DNA, do some science. But yeah, the compy as well as the Omniraptor, if you guys remember, are going to be going over in this little section. So the long exhibits, 2 of them stuck in here side by side. Compy will probably be right here because I really like the compy. Although maybe I'll give it more space. I haven't decided. But yeah, that is the future for the dinosaur exhibit, which is exciting. Gives this area a little bit more pizzazz. We'll fill it up, and then I can start coming through here with leaves and maybe pave the road and actually get like benches and signs and street lights, and actually make it feel like a park, because right now it's kind of just like a walk through a valley, and we're starting to get the the right vibe with the forest. But over here the forest won't be the redwood, it'll be maybe a little bit more of the blackwood bleeding over, or I'll pick another tree or something like that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. That is for next episode. Okay, but I want to see, while we were out, is the sword done? Ooh, it is. Ancient sword. 6 attack damage, 1.6 attack speed. I'm curious how that compares to my sword. Let's see, I gotta look in my tool bag, because the sword, I've got my tool upgrade, and it's only out when I actually hit something. Okay, so 6 attack speed, 1.6, so it's comparable. It's exactly the same as an iron sword, which is fine. Not amazing, but it's fine. What does it look like? Ooh, it's like a saber. That's cool. Very red. All right. Very cool. Well, I wonder, can I hand it to this guy? I cannot. I gotta get like an item frame or something to put it on the wall. Okay, grab my item frame. I think we'll plop it right here for now, and just kind of put that bad boy there. I don't really want to use it. If it's not better than iron, there's no reason to use it just for it to break, you know what I mean? So it's another valuable for us, and maybe eventually when we get a full suit of armor with the Anu, we'll rock it, and we'll have a full mascot set up here. Okay, but that's pretty exciting. I love that every episode we're just getting a little bit more of a stockpile of DNA, which will really help going forward with the zoo. But folks, because I think it's going to take me another few days, if not a week, to really finish that log building over there, I'm thinking the remainder of this episode, folks, we're going to do another time lapse, and I'm going to really do what I've been waiting to do. Check this out. If I open up my plants, look at the bottom here. I've got a bunch of redwood saplings. I went and used the tree farm, the one we've got, the one that we have set up spinning around. I just altered it so that it was redwoods for a while, and also palm trees for a while, because I learned, check this out, I learned that you can actually make the tall saplings. So all the tall saplings here, specifically the tall palm sapling that we've been using, it just takes 2 palm saplings, which is really exciting to get the tall one. And that's the one, just to remind you guys, that's the one that looks like this, which I think is great. You can even say I've already used it a few times here. So I'm a big fan of this one. I think it looks really good in, Jurassic and Triassic section of the park. So I'm going to be using that guy a ton. We've also got the temperate bush, the tempscura, the elephant ear, and the ancient ferns, which I can actually try planting right now for the first time and see if we can spread them. They have to be under leaves, and they look like that, which is pretty simple, honestly, but dotting them all around. Oh, they get bigger. How big do they get? That's how big they get. They actually don't look like they spread. Please break into multiple when I break you. We get 1 back. Okay, wow. It looks like we only get a few of these. So if we only have 2, we're going to save those for like a smaller exhibit where we can actually show them off. But yeah, the temperate bush here, I can expand with bone meal, as well as this guy here. You guys have seen I break it and it becomes 2. So I literally have unlimited of these, which is great. So I'm going to use those, as well as our favorite elephant ear fern, which just spreads like that. And we're going to finally get this whole area. I think I'm going to complete the entire redwood forest region that I have planned right now. So wish me luck. I'm going to have fun with it. I love doing foliage, as you guys might have started to learn. And yeah, let's get into a nature time lapse. Enjoy. All right, folks, I have been doing work out here around the house. It's technically been kind of working on the Sauropod exhibit, since we're eventually going to have the Sauropod exhibit around our visitor center here, right? But boom, check it out. We've got a really like full forest, right? Redwood forest, full of foliage and different plants. So let's go take a little walk. I'll kind of show you guys my thought process. It wasn't just spam plants everywhere, right? Like I did kind of, it's a little bit of a random to it. But I followed a few rules of mine, and I do this in a few games when I just kind of mess with foliage. And as long as you follow the rules, I feel like it ends up looking like a forest, more or less. So, for example, we've got our elephant ears here, as well as our temperate bushes. I tried to put these in like crevices or elevation changes. So when you're walking around, you'll notice that these bushes tend to be kind of packed into the corners of things and along the edges. And I did really focus all my resources kind of here on the path. So as we walk along, you'll see a lot of the plants. Where if you do kind of wander in the middle of the forest, a little bit more sparse, right? I'm not a machine. I can only do so much, but there are plants pretty much across the board in this entire forest. A big one is these tepscas, because you can see it gets a little purple and buggy, but when I break them, I get tubes, right? So these things are absolutely everywhere, because I had unlimited of them. Whereas the tall palms, you got to craft them with palm saplings, so I will soon have unlimited, but right now it's limited. And these elephant ears are great. I wish I could get them way faster, but I need to bone meal them to grow them. So in the future, I might get a farm up and running of some sort. I bet I can use Create Mod to help automate those guys. Same with the bushes. The bushes I've got to kind of spam with bone meal to grow them. But yeah, I want to come through here still and get like nice spruce stairs or redwood stairs or whatever. But you can see here we've this kind of set up now. So the monorail station is looking way better with foliage. And even the aviary has a little bit of an entrance. And I didn't just do big trees, like 2x2s, right? I threw in a few sparse redwoods, because basically the way I did it is I ran around, I put the big ones where I thought they would look cool, and then you kind of fill in the gaps, right? In a real forest, the big old trees are dropping their pine cones, and new upstart trees are growing. So you always have like a mix, unless you're logging. If you log it, you log the big ones, and you only see the small ones. But this is our natural forest, so no logging here. And now the only place I didn't really mess with too much is over here, because this will be our Ceratosaurus pen, so I figured why bother decorating right now? That's going to be a whole thing. I'm not even sure what I exactly want to do with this exhibit. One thing I gotta do is get rid of all those dang flowers, that's for sure. That's an endless task here in the Jurassic section. Like, I don't think there's any flowers in this forest, but if you guys see one, let me know the timestamp and be like, yo, there's a poppy at, 17 minutes and 59 seconds, and I'll go hunt it out and get rid of that poppy. But yeah, over here, I think it looks really cool once you start getting into kind of the excuse me, the tunnel area. It's like really close quarters and close knit. Gotta like squeeze through there, and then up here, get into our tunnel, and I've got the plants just absolutely everywhere. Also, I'll keep it night here. I won't sleep it out because I have lit pretty much everywhere. There's obviously going to be a few dark patches with new trees popping up. Like I can already tell right there. Might be a little bit too dark. But yeah, I've just been kind of cruising along here and lighting it up. And eventually I do want to get either hidden lights or lanterns, but that's a down the road thing, right? That's just like, that's ultimate detail, which we will get there. I want all exhibits to be like the aviary. If you'll notice in the aviary, you can't really see any lights. They're all kind of hidden. And if you can see them, I want them to be lanterns instead of lights, because lanterns, they just look better, it just feels better. Now, while I was doing this, I was actually up here in the lab as well, and I was messing around with some of the seeds in the culture vat, and I will let you know, this is our second culture vat. We actually broke it. I wasn't quite recording when it happened, unfortunately, but I threw a plant fossil in there, and we ended up getting a mutant plant, so I don't know what this looks like, actually. Maybe we can put it right here. Come here, fern. Oh, I don't know if I can get that fern back. That was a mistake. Anyway, what does a mutant plant look like? Ooh, creepy. Okay, it actually, is that giving off light? No. That was hopeful thinking. I was like, wow, can I just have that as like a nightlight? That's pretty cool though. I kind of like it. All right, folks, but the view out of our visitor center is getting cooler every day. Out this side, we keep getting all the new additions over on Al's side. We've got the forest looking nice and tidied up. Alright folks, but I hope you're digging this forest upgrade. I love it. I've been telling you guys that just like being in a big forest vibe is one of the dreams of mine for living out in a Minecraft world, and this one, it's awesome because it's prehistoric, and it makes me really happy to use these fossil plants and just some of the mods and stuff, and like everything you see behind me is not base Minecraft. Like the only thing that is normal behind me is what? Water blocks, grass blocks, lights, and I think that's it. I mean, you can see a little bit of the spruce. There we go. But like, yeah, it's all new modded stuff. It looks really, really cool. It keeps me super entertained. So I hope it's keeping you guys entertained as well. But I'm gonna let you guys go. Next episode, we will definitely be finishing that huge, crazy, auto-sorted tree farm and its storage facility. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be allowing me to basically make as many buildings as I want, at least out of wood, right, for the foreseeable future. So that's going to be awesome. But I've been babbling on too long, like usual. I'm going to let you guys get out of there. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. But until next time, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I have NJ. Peace.